off camera for a minute because I got to take care of something. I'll be right back.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the MCU. What used to be a fantastic movie series and is now what is considerably a fucking joke. So, if you go back, what was it, 2008? Iron Man 1 was absolutely, fantastic. It laid the groundwork for the entirety of the fucking series. Hey, Miss Martin, good to see you. So for those of you who don't know, Robbie Downey Jr. had been in jail beforehand. His career was in the dirt. People would not hire him for anything. It was actually Mel Gibson who got him back on the straight and narrow.
He may have done a couple of seasons of Ally McBeal before this. He had shown that he could behave enough. But, he was shown to be a good boy, if you get me. Hold on, what's behind the scenes? So, he turned around and I believe he only got, $500,000 for Iron Man 1. Yeah, he was an Academy Award winner for the Chaplin movie, but he was such a checkered past that he was making Charlie Sheen look like a choir boy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. He showed up to court high off his fucking balls. When he was going to jail. But, hey, Eddie, good to see you, man. Wow, it's late for you. He's another Irishman. So, they hired him in Iron Man 1, starting at $500,000. Then from there, each consecutive movie he was in, his paycheck went up, and at one stage I believe it was nearly 50, 60, 70 million. At one stage he actually negotiated his price tag down. Robert Downey Jr. is honestly a great fucking guy. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff about... What was the name of the actor who played Rhodey in Iron Man 1?
Terrence Howard.
Yeah, Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard wanted to get more money in Iron Man 2 than Robbie Downey Jr. Which is why they replaced him in Iron Man 2.
Yeah, with Don Cheadle, yeah.
Yeah. Which, honestly, great choice.
I love Don Cheadle.
I love Terrence Howard, but I really wish Don Cheadle had been Rhodey to begin with.
Facts.
True.
Yeah. But
next time, baby. Yeah, not for you.
Hey, it's a multiverse now, so he can always show back up as Rhodey.
Well, they just made him a Skrull anyway.
Yeah, you were saying that.
He's not going to be back because he's made a point of complaining about the process. And I don't know if Disney will allow it. Although I would point out he was with the good MCU that we associate with the movies made by Paramount. And he was attached to the Iron Man movie first. And he had the right of highest salary. And when the movie happened, he clung to that one. And they said, you know what, since you're not going to back off right to highest salary, and Robert Downey Jr. only got $500,000, and we got to really buck him up here. In the year since this happened, the couple of years since this happened, he's become a real star again. It's really reignited for him. Fuck you. Tropic Thunder was a hit. Where you're either going to sign this or you're not going to be part of it. And he was, he said many times he feels betrayed by Robert Downey Jr. And I'm like, I would have taken $100,000 less than what they were going to give Robert Downey Jr. and squeezed by on it.
You could have, that's the thing. If Robert Downey Jr. was getting $2.5 million, dude, go in for $2.3 million. That's still $2.3 million.
Yeah, I don't need 2.7. I can take the 2. You know what? 2.3. Yeah, let me pay off the taxes from the $2 million.
Yeah, exactly.
But the thing is that egos came into play really hard. But what Terrence Howard did not take into consideration is that at that time, Robert Downey Jr. being a star or not, he had a lot more limited career path than Terrence Howard did at that time. Terrence Howard could have went anywhere. Robert Downey Jr. had to take the deals he was given, or his career would have went right back down the tubes. And that's another reason, his checkered past and his battle with addiction are what made him connect so well with a character who's got a checkered past and battles with addiction.
Yeah. Frankly, although for Iron Man, I think they should have held out on I Am Iron Man maybe for another movie. Like, where because you could have had the reveal in the second one. Now, the second one...
Very fucking end that he literally says it, like, isn't that one of the last, like, 2
Yeah.
lines?
Yeah, that was literally the last line that he says, and I think that was really good. Like, really good placement.
I feel like it's a really good cliffhanger.
Although what they should have done, what I would have done if I were in their case, I would have waited till the second movie when he's at the hearing, when he's at the congressional hearing, walks in as Iron Man, and then they're like, well, where the hell's Tony Stark? And that should have been when he did the reveal, like pulls the mask off and everything, then uses the, I privatized world peace and all that shit.
I don't know. The way he did it at the end of that movie, and then to back it up with that version of Iron Man, sort of remixed and more aggressive. Proper use of Black Sabbath, proper use of a reveal.
Oh, yeah.
I hear what you're saying. I think what you're saying is really true, but he's like, yeah, fuck it. I am Iron Man. And then like the riff and like all that great art. And they had a beginning of the movie at the end of the movie, right? We had what was essentially a comic style beginning. And then we showed all the schematics, and it was just great. And like none of us got up to leave during the credits of Iron Man.
Hell no. No, we did. We sat and watched the whole damn thing. And then we saw Nick Fury.
And we were deeply interested in the way that Black Sabbath song was being redelivered, and deeply interested in hearing if it was Ozzy singing it, and it made it great.
Well, and then
as a Black Sabbath fan, I was never more satisfied. I was like, yeah, wow.
Well, and that's the thing. A lot of people don't know this. A lot of people don't know this. Ozzy wrote that song, well, he's high out of his mind, because he was reading a comic book. He literally wrote the song Iron Man because he loved the Iron Man comic book. And it's like really kick ass. And then they turned around. I forget who the creator was, but at the time, but they named War Machine after that line in War Pigs. So that's even cooler. Like Iron Man has always had a heavy connection with Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath.
He should be in the MCU. Ozzy Osbourne should be, now that Stan Lee's not with us, just put like Ozzy in every movie. Like, oh no.
You know, like when like that after credit scene in the first Iron Man first took off,
Amanat and freaking Feige in charge. There's no balls no more. They won't do nothing like that.
Yeah, Phil, you were saying?
I was saying that in the after credit scene, like when Nick Fury revealed himself, he like I do remember seeing this one video where he introduced himself like after Tony asked, "Who are you?" He almost said, "I'm Nick Fury, motherfucker," or something like that.
But for those of you who don't know, in Iron Man 2, at the World's event, like when he landed and saved the kid, that is confirmed to be Peter Parker.
Yeah.
In Iron Man 2 at the beginning?
Yeah.
Yeah. The little kid standing there with the mask and the
There's a repulsor, the toy that was confirmed to be a very young Peter Parker.
I want to say that was the first piece of MCU publicity that made me a little bit sick. I was like, who fucking cares? That's fucking stupid.
But you gotta admit, that was in character of Tony Stark because he has an ego.
But you know what? The idea that was Spider-Man is useless to us as information. It's after the fact, like years later, we find out. And what does it contribute to Peter Parker? Except that you already looked up to him, I guess.
I mean, as far as we know, when we get to like
useless or not
Civil War, he already is well established to have his powers. Uncle Ben's already dead, so I mean, we didn't need to get the origin story.
I mean, I guess it's like.
And he didn't even have an Uncle Ben in this version.
Fans.
I'm satisfied with. I'm satisfied with a Spider-Man, not necessarily the Spider-Man as it was rolled out in No Way Home.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is, it would have been interesting if we had a story where Uncle Ben was very much alive and well. That'd be a much more interesting story.
Well,
We
but
had
they
one
made
with
Aunt
Tobey
May.
Maguire.
They made Aunt May into his Uncle Ben. She literally delivers the line and then gets killed. Like that's the biggest problem is where have we come as a society when the fact of the matter is they killed his mother figure to get a shock value to the damn movie. Like there is so much wrong with that, and we loved it anyway because the movie was told so well.
We did?
Yeah.
You know what I mean. I'm talking about the movie overall. It was but the point remains is that up to this point we had 23 movies in 11 years, 12 television series that all the Netflix series were connected at the time. You had Netflix, Freeform, ABC, and Hulu. You had 8 short films that could only be seen if you got the extended Blu-rays. And in 11 years, they set up the biggest, and it was just like the comic books, like just because you're reading the Avengers, and then they'll say something in a cliff note. They'll be like, it'll say, somebody will say something, then in the cliff note it'll say, as seen in Iron Man issue whatever, and you didn't necessarily have to see it all to understand what was going on.
Yeah,
that's where we're at now. Is they've ruined.
But Favre, you're
now.
going to be next as soon as he's done. Favre, go ahead.
Well, all I had to say is I got to be honest about something in this whole thing.
Yeah.
Now, like we said in the last thing, my brother and I came up on Marvel and DC Comics.
Of course.
I bowed out of the fucking MCU after Captain America and the Winter Soldier. I didn't watch the Avengers movies. I didn't watch the Thor movies. I didn't watch freaking
Chef
or Ragnarok. I couldn't because I saw Marvel start collapsing before they hit the Phase 4 stupid shit, and I could already see the crack showing in the MCU early. I just couldn't fucking deal with it. I bowed out.
Well,
and as soon as the actors started showing their ass to the fans, that just sealed it for me. I was done with the whole fucking thing.
Well, in fairness, the Thor movies.
When are you saying you noped out? When was the moment?
Captain America and the Winter Soldier. That was it. I was done after that.
But we don't see anybody's ass for like 6 more years.
No.
You know what I mean when I say
he's talking about when. Yeah, he's talking about when all the actors came out politically and shit.
I'll explain
okay.
it. It was when Chris Evans and a bunch of those other assholes were telling people how to live, how to think, what they should feel about shit, and then getting on people's shit when they didn't agree with them. That's it. I got no tolerance for that bullshit.
Yeah. And I absolutely get it, like, because even at Comic-Con, I knew that there were, like, I met people who were pissed off with the MCU. Like, especially Thor. The Thor movies were not good. The best Thor movie, honestly, was the can't believe I have to say this, the third one.
Not necessarily crazy.
I don't know.
It's not that crazy.
I liked Dark World. I don't I get it. Malekith was not done right, but I liked the movie overall.
But Admiral, you were saying?
It's not a crazy thing to say. At the time, Ragnarok seemed like it was refreshing and stuff, but it aged like shit. The next movie really just doesn't. Only Last Jedi did more harm to the movie before it than Thor 4 did to Thor 3. If they had just done one off and gone back to something a little bit more serious, slightly serious. Because Thor was like, he's a little more of a top tier character than Iron Man was, like going back to the days of actual comic books. He was moving more material. Maybe, try to like raise this guy up to be your anchor man here now that Tony Stark is dead. And you kind of have a star in the making because he's not that big outside of the MCU. I mean, sometimes he's good, sometimes he's bad, but
I think one of the
they didn't manage it well.
I think one of the biggest problems, and a lot of you will probably agree with me, when it came to those Thor movies, is that Taika Waititi cannot fucking control himself.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have done 2 in a row.
Putting too many jokes in there?
100%.
You could have gotten away with one of them. We would have looked back in a couple of years and said, I rewatched the third Thor movie, and it was dumb. But the fourth one by whoever else, that was fine.
And the issue
Yeah.
But
too is
see,
just like he does it
fourth
on
one, I think, was
purpose.
like
He
fun,
admitted
right?
to doing it on purpose.
But see, that's
Oh, yeah.
the problem, and
Well,
this is why
hold
I'm
on.
Hold up,
afraid
guys.
for the DC. Oh, go ahead.
Teague, you want to go, and then we'll get to Bubba.
Oh, okay. I'll just say, you want to talk about restrained versus unrestrained. Look at Wonder Woman or look at Seth MacFarlane's Ted. Theatrical Ted
So-
didn't do well, but the TV release did really well. So then
Yeah.
for his next movie, he was not restrained for his next two movies, right? Ted
Yeah.
2 failed. A Million Ways to Die in the West failed. Both were 2.5 hours to 3 hours and 10 minutes long. He did not have a special edition for those because he put everything on screen. Sometimes constraints are very helpful.
Yeah.
Now, talking about movies, just go one sec, and then I'll hand over to Bubba. Talking about Wonder Woman, show you how to fail. You got Wonder Woman banned in 2 countries.
Yep.
Like Wonder Woman, like they got it edited in both Ireland and the UK because they had a scene from the 80s. Because it is still like a hop on issue over here. How the Irish were treated in the UK in the 80s. And where they're like, oh, I wish that you'd like F off home, and then they had the Irish guys like, and I wish you'd just die. Like,
But that guy
that's-
spoke for me.
yeah, I know, but like my parents were in the UK in the 80s.
Yeah.
They had to edit this movie for Ireland and the UK. Like, that's not how you get a movie put out there. And
No,
Taika,
and that's not fun for the whole family either.
yeah, and Taika Waititi, like,
But
I've
that is
seen
what
him-
I was saying. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
That's the problem, and that's why I'm worried about the DC movies going forward. That's exactly what happened with Guardians of the Galaxy and with Thor. With the Thor movies. That's fine for 1 or 2 movies, but the entire fucking franchise cannot be that James Gunn, Taika Waititi humor. It will not work. It will fail. It will bomb catastrophically.
There is one exact
Well,
thing he said. One exact thing he said, and most of you probably remember it. That just told you how much he didn't give a fuck what anybody else thought or if anything was right. When he's like, "I'll ruin your fucking lore," or whatever the fuck he said, your mythos in a minute, baby. Yeah.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
A fucking,
And-
you're
and
a
that-
fucking
and that is what-
clown.
and that-
Show yourself out, asshole.
And
Yeah.
that's where Taco titties needs to have someone's fist ran up his ass and use
But I will
and
also-
saying, I'm an idiot.
I will also come to James Gunn's
Minecraft.
defense a little bit by saying that I do
That would be
think
Tessa
that
Thompson's fist.
I do think that if James Gunn takes a route that he did in the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie, then his DCEU could be fairly decent, even though I don't have
But
much
the
faith in it at
problem
the
is-
moment, but still.
yeah, but the problem is we do not know the starting point of the DC universe because we're getting
It was rolled out in Lord of the Rings style in Justice League by Wonder Woman in some wonderful narration, and I'm sure Kate Blanchett was jealous of. Remember, oh, the gods, they fought against the dark side.
Oh God! Now that's the DCEU. I'm talking about the James Gunn one. We don't know where his canon starts because the
Right
Flash
now, we've got Greek
Yeah.
gods fighting Darkseid is kind of the farthest back we've gone, right? We agree that until they blow that up, that seems to be
Yeah.
the beginning, right? That seems to be the beginning.
But we're talking because the brand new canon with James Gunn is there's the Flash movie that's still Snyder. Then we've got Aquaman, that's still Snyder. Then
Yeah, I
we've
blame
got
that shit on other people too.
oh yeah, like
Well, and this Blue Beetle
Yeah.
movie that's going to go absolutely nowhere. That's still technically the Snyderverse.
yeah.
When is
That's
it
one-
being
that-
released?
that one-
Honestly,
Okay, but I'm low key really excited for the
Like in a week or two. But
It-
the
I
Snyderverse
didn't-
still has Blue Beetle
I didn't.
and
Yeah,
Aquaman.
I didn't say it was going to be bad. I said it wasn't going to go anywhere afterwards.
Yeah.
I've
I've
seen-
whole thing with their MCU, with their DCU, is the fact that I think they just want to try and pop out the way they have been with their anime movies. They're just like isolated stories, but that's not going to work for like a big cinematic, like nationwide kind of setup.
Yeah.
I've
Just
seen
remember
some of the
something.
stuff surrounding Blue Beetle. I don't think it's going to be good either. Never
Yeah.
mind not going.
But-
Exactly.
talking
can
about
say
not
is-
going anywhere.
Yeah.
it's
Blue
the same
Beetle's
thing with,
walking
like-
into a. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah,
it's
because
basically
we're
just-
gone into DC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We're
Talking
about
about-
DC.
Talking about not going anywhere. Everyone I've known, everyone I've met, nobody I have seen who has a brain cell in their head has genuinely said, I like Captain Marvel. Like, and that is a huge problem for you. For Marvel, because they're trying to make Captain Marvel into the new face of the MCU, because Spider-Man is held by the balls by Sony.
And they're trying to make her replace Iron Man.
Yeah.
I don't think necessarily anymore with how like quote unquote popular Brie Larson is, which is like barely any. So
Well,
I think
yeah, now they're
going,
trying to put Kamala Khan in her place.
yeah, I was gonna say I think they're going with Miss Marvel besides
No,
Brie
they so they have a glaring issue right now. Right? And see, I'm just going to download some of it because it is absolutely a fucking joke. The
I tried to
CGI
I
watch
just
Captain Marvel.
I have to say,
probably
I
like
would
3 times, and I fell asleep at
be-
the 3-minute marker.
yeah.
I'll be all for Miss Marvel being the new lead, only because between her and the actress who plays her, and Brie Larson, the actress who plays Miss Marvel definitely has charisma, and she seems to like really dive into the lore of her character, unlike Brie Larson, who's like stuck up and nobody wants to be around her, even the Avengers cast.
The big
Yeah.
problem with Miss Marvel is just that the comics can't even decide who she is and what she's about. The movies have nothing to work with.
Yet, weirdly, there are a few YouTubers who are highly critical of the MCU said that particular show is actually enjoyable in context and better than most of their other shows, and they pointed to Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh,
So
But
I'm going to show
I say this all the time, though. Captain Teague's never heard me say this. The shit they do right makes the shit they do wrong look that much fucking worse.
Admiral Teague.
Excuse
So
me. Sorry about that.
Okay, so as Ensign Teague was saying,
wow.
yeah,
But you have heard of me.
Mm.
like,
Oh,
guys, this is
no.
the CGI that they're genuinely pushing out. Yeah, like,
That's
Like-
some gun level CGI right there, bro.
See,
Oh my
I don't.
god! Oh god! My eyes! My eyes!
Would,
My
would
eyes!
good CGI have saved She-Hulk though? I mean, they
No.
knew which
No.
one not to
No.
put money into.
Not
Not
yeah.
necessarily, but it could have
Nope.
made like the show a tad bit less
More
painful
tolerable?
to watch
Yeah.
if the CGI was actually good.
A little, yeah.
The money
Yeah,
went to
but-
Secret Wars. How'd that work out?
It
but here's,
might have helped if the
that-
actress wasn't so abrasive.
but
So,
here's
give me
a
secret invasion. I'm sorry.
yeah, but here's like another stupid
Admiral,
fucking-
Captain. Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Another one of the other like things that I thought was absolutely fucking stupid. They recently released Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which is arguably like one of the last great MCU movies. It highlights everything that all the other ones are doing wrong, right? And like one of the things that really pissed me off. So you know the way Thor is Odin can give people Thor's power for a temporary time. He who holds this like will receive the power of Thor. Well, in Thor: Love and Thunder, right? Thor decides to give a bunch of kids the power of Thor for a temporary time, and one of them she uses a stuffed fucking bunny rabbit.
Yeah, I thought that was dumb. I felt like that was like a cheap way of trying to make doors to see him.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Odin did
very-
that by accident in the comic books. He accidentally created the Wrecking Crew by similar means. But you see, they made them look like knockoffs of the Village People in the fucking She-Hulk show.
And that's, by the way, that's very Last Jedi to give it to a bunch of children. Like we see the little kid using the force with the broom.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's kind of that broom. Because I know I hate the fucking movie, but I'm just gonna say, him grabbing the broom kind of makes sense because it was like meant to say the force is alive. So yeah, just have someone simply grab. but not a girl going into war with a bunny rabbit.
Well, yes, but it made sense in the context of that terrible ass movie. That's like, you know, I mean that is the proverbial tits on the boar. Like, you know, just saying.
Yeah, and then you had the stupid shit, which I got 15,000 comments when this movie was announced. When I said they're making the most hated storyline from the movie, from the comics, into the movies, where they had Jane Foster have the bloody stage 4 cancer every time she let go of Thor's fucking hammer.
Yep.
How did that thing resurface after that thing?
So from what I understand from the scenes I've seen, because I haven't seen the movie, because I only watch good movies. Shut up, Favre. He knows some of my tastes. So
I do too.
The pieces of Mjolnir, right, are now like floated to her. That's what she's saying. They floated to her.
And not to mention those fake as hell
Well,
muscles on
in the comic books, it wasn't much better. In the comic books, she wasn't worthy of the hammer until Thor's mom freaking enchanted it and gave it to her. I mean, that's affirmative action Thor.
Yeah, but you're also forgetting that Nick Fury whispered something into Thor's ear that made him unworthy.
and it was Gore. It was about Gore the God Butcher. He was telling him he was right. It opened up Thor's inner conflict and made him unworthy to wield the hammer. Yes, but regardless, the point remains is that they are taking what they're doing is at the end of 2014 going into 2015. That was when the great awakening happened in comics. That was when they decided the all new, all original, whatever they were calling it, Marvel, where they replace all of their top heroes. They, you know, suddenly Iron Man is a young black girl. Suddenly, Thor is Jane Foster. Amadeus Cho is the totally awesome Hulk, and I'm surprised we haven't got that bullshit yet. You know, and then of course they decide to strip Falcon's, his identity, and name him Captain America. Which was a huge downgrade for a character that's been around literally by this time for 40 years. Anyway.
John Walker is my Captain America. John Walker did nothing wrong.
Do you want to say what you said last time about the last stream about them making the female characters? You brought that up last stream.
Oh God! You mean pretty much them making the Avengers all the male Avengers?
Oh yeah,
yes. Well, it's because it's exactly what happened in Phase 4 of the comics. Feige is not creative. The motherfucker ain't got an original thought in his fucking head. This all came from the damn comics when they were on the decline because the writing had gotten so fucking bad.
Yeah, because in the comics, Nebula was the one who took the power gauntlet away. I don't know how she did it. But I knew that she held things, and she's the one who reversed the snap. And now, I do agree, I will say, what they did in the movies with Thanos was a lot better reasoning than what they did in the comics. That for the Infinity Gauntlet.
How'd you guys feel about Moon
Knight? What, FPS?
I said, how'd you guys feel about Moon Knight?
Terrible.
It was all
that
right.
was some dumbass fucking shit, man.
Okay, so the problem is that they based it off the newer comic books, and as far as living up to newer source material, it was fine. But newer source material sucks, so that's why we got it.
It was.
Why wasn't it called Rise of Scarlet Scarab?
I was about to get.
Why was it called Moon Knight? When I was a kid, there was a Saturday morning cartoon called Isis, and it was the same exact character. They just wanted to fix that name.
It was typical Marvel Disney bullshit. Break down, deconstruct a male lead character who's been long established and replace them with some other female character that has nothing the fuck to do with their storyline.
Yeah, well, I mean, Ethan Hawke turned down the role in Independence Day, so I feel he's doomed to walk the earth in one terrible series after another.
Yeah. One of the main problems is and from what I've seen, because I follow a lot of like psychiatrists, psychologists, a lot of like doctors and things like that. I have a lot of interests that may lead me down the path of being a serial killer, but we'll find out one day when I end up on YouTube. Anyway, so there's this guy who was reviewing the MCU, and he said you had things that were subtle, like one of the very good things from Iron Man 3 was PTSD written by people with PTSD, right? It's like, they're like, how do you feel? How did you go through, right? Now you have all these things you're meant to have, like anxiety, depression, people with like autism, things like this. Insert X mental illness into characters, right?
Yeah.
But it's not done properly. It's not done by people who understand it.
Well,
Like,
it's not done with any respect. It's the Hollywood comprehension of shit that most of them think they're dealing with, but they have no fucking clue because they've never really dealt with it. They've dealt with the Hollywood upper class rich people version of it.
Well, see, and that's the thing. If you take No Way Home, for instance, that rooftop scene where the 3 Spider-Men are grieving over their lost loved ones, that scene brought me to literal tears. That scene was written by people who have had real loss, who have taken real pain. I don't think they could do that again. I'm surprised they were able to do it for that movie.
yeah, like I was looking into the making of it, and like the actors literally talked about people that they had lost for and they said that they wouldn't do that scene again. They like that was done in one take, because they wouldn't record it again, because like the memories were too like raw. But one of the things that I liked from Tobey Maguire in that movie, right, was just a simple line: "How are you? Trying my best." Like, and they said, "Oh, you're all grown up. How are you? Trying my best," which is what most of us are doing. And I like that. It's like that he's a hero, but it's like, "How are you doing?" And it's like, I'm not like, "I am Spider-Man. I say," it's like, "I'm trying my best."
I mean, also have been a callback to the Spider-Man 2 line.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why Peter Parker and Spider-Man, that's why he is the most relatable superhero in all of comic or all fiction.
But that's the whole point. Like, that's what made that movie so good. When we see Doc Ock, when they put in an MCU permanent inhibitor chip on those arms, we see this man. He still lost his wife. He's still, I mean, he's not getting off scot-free. His decisions are still something he's going to have to live with. But the fact of the matter remains is that when we see his genuine joy to see Peter Parker and to see him, as he saw him before he had them, had the tentacles on him and everything. When we see Andrew Garfield, catch Michelle the way he should have caught Gwen, like that was perfect. Like, and it is that moment, and it was those little moments that built that entire movie, and it was because the MCU was not in control of it. It might be attached to them, but they weren't in control.
That's really liked No Way Home was made with so much heart compared to like most of the MCU films and projects, to say, that has come out since like Endgame, essentially.
I agree. And they knowingly brought back together 2 of people's favorite villains from the old Tobey Maguire movies. They got Doc Ock back, and they got the Green Goblin back. They got Willem Dafoe back, which is, I know, a lot of people's favorite version of the Goblin.
Yes.
Yes, but they got Ryza Vons and Thomas Hayden Church back, and that really shocked me.
One of the stipulations to get William Dafoe back, and what's the name of the Doc Ock?
I'm really
Alfred Molina.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So Molina said, "I want to be de-aged. I want to look like I did in Spider-Man 2. But oh, fuck, now I'm after forgetting his name. Goblin?
Willem Dafoe.
Thank you. Willem Dafoe said, "I don't want to be. I want to look how I look now because he's proud of his
Yeah.
Mhm.
age.
Yes.
He's like, I want to look how I look now.
If
And they're
I
like, okay,
age from 40
I
to
also
60
heard-
that great, you know what? Fuck it.
yeah.
To also
well, he
add
said-
on to Potato's point, I've also heard that Willem Dafoe, the only way he will be in this movie
Uh-huh.
that we're talking about is if he can do his own stunts.
Oh,
Yeah.
and
You could
one
meet
other
two
thing.
people in your
Break that
life to
helmet.
ask.
Yeah,
If you could meet
and
two
he
people
did
in
not.
your life
Yeah,
to give you the secret of aging, it's Willem Dafoe and Jennifer Connelly, right? You want to ask?
yeah,
them
yeah,
about it?
yeah.
How did you do
Hold
it?
on, 3 people.
How'd you pull it off?
Yeah.
Three people.
Yeah,
Admiral.
yes, he
Patrick
did
Stewart.
live well.
He looks terrible now, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
but
once upon
up
a
until-
time,
Yes,
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
but we're
but he
talking
looked
into
terrible.
his 80s.
Yeah. Well,
I no
are
longer
you-
have any respect for Patrick Stewart. That's why I used this avatar from the most preposterous episode of Picard season 1.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
no.
something else.
Yeah, you
Trust
see
I
me.
the-
like to I like to speak as old Picard and quote Shakespeare. Because all of our yesterdays have beaten a dusty path to their own demise.
That
Potato.
brings, yeah, but that brings me to another point. And Jet, Spark, and Favre, both of them are writers, and they're going to understand this. Thor, Love and Thunder went too big. I am sorry. The fact that they had so many gods in it nullifies the entire thing. I'm sorry. It's like
Yeah, and where
you've
does
got-
it end, by the way? Where
This
does it
doubles-
end? Do we have, like,
Oh,
Marvel's
Lord.
Jesus next?
Yeah.
I don't know. But they
That-
this
Yeah, I'm
doubles
right here.
back. This
The
doubles
man
back
from
on what I
Nazareth.
Yeah.
said about Waititi not being able to fucking control himself.
They referenced Jesus in the Planet of the Gods. Like, I saw the clip. They were walking, and they're like, "Oh, hey, there's the carpenter," and it's like, fucking really?
That's
Like-
a major mistake. You don't want to go
Yeah.
there.
They did.
Even Rick Riordan in the Percy Jackson series did not go there. He literally states when Percy's asking Chiron about the about God, he says, well, we're not talking about the metaphysical. We're talking about the beings that we've known from Olympus. In the Cain Chronicles, they literally list Moses as the only magician outside the magician sect that has ever beaten the Magicians Guild in their order. And so I mean that's how you handle that sort of thing. You either with a joke or a type of reverence that separates it, because like you said, that is not a path you want to go down.
Like, someone asked one of the immortals, they're like, "Wait, you were like about 2,000 years ago? You were in the Middle East?" And he said, "Yes." He said, Someone said to him, "Did you meet
Remember
Jesus?"
that time you could have stopped Herod from killing all those children and didn't? Explain yourself.
But he said, "Did you meet Jesus?" Right? And he turned around and went, "No." "But you were in the Middle East." He goes, "Dude, it was a big place." He said, "Where were you?" "Alexandria." It said 2,000 years ago. And yeah. So what were you doing there? "Learning." Said had to make a living, dude. He was in Alexandria making money. Because I like that. It's like, yeah, he was around 2,000 years ago, but he was nowhere near Jesus. You do not go that level of disrespect. And the MCU cannot decide what the fuck they want to do with Captain Marvel. Because how many reshoots have we had? We had Captain Marvel, the first draft, was meant to
Speaking
have
of
Spider-Man.
Jesus,
Oh no. But in Captain Marvel, the first draft, you had Spider-Man, right? In the second draft, you had the Monica Rambeau. Now you have Monica Rambeau and you have fucking Kamala Khan. Yeah.
what does it say that Sony was like, fuck you, no, we're not putting our valuable Spider-Man next to your filthy fucking Captain Marvel. No way. Like, her filthy feet will rub all over him. No.
Oh, please! They tried to start a cinematic universe with Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery and not include Spidey himself. How
They're
many
actually-
people would have shown up to see Spider-Man take on Venom on the big screen?
Actually, Jet, they've confirmed Venom 3 will include Spider-Man.
Well, but that's the thing. Venom takes place in the Andrew Garfield continuity.
Nope.
Supposedly,
Which Spider-Man are we going to see? You know, are we going
That's
to see
a good
Toby?
question, right?
We're going. No,
Are we gonna
we're
see
going to see.
Garfield?
No, we're going to see Holland take on Venom, and Venom is in his own
He
universe.
signed the contract.
Yeah, no, we get that, but
he was
Tom
on
Here's the
sign.
thing. Here's the thing. I've been hearing reports that it's gonna be Holland, and then other reports gonna be Garfield. I don't think it's really confirmed on which of the two is gonna be.
They don't
I'm
give a
going to
fuck.
be real.
But
I'm gonna
they've
be
already
real on
confirmed.
this. I think there's one big problem here
Yeah,
about
go
confirming
ahead.
any of this is all the damn
Rumors.
strikes going on.
Yeah.
That is true,
Yeah,
and you're also forgetting another thing, because everyone's saying Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield's second Spider-Man movie was a complete flop, right?
Yeah.
People
But
are
it was
only
done by some of the worst story writers in the world. We're talking
Yeah.
about that was Alex fucking Kurtzman. All right,
oh
Yeah.
the
crap.
worst show in the history of television, Star Trek Discovery. Alex
Yeah, he
Kurtzman
was
is a
involved in
producer
that
of
movie.
the worst show on TV right now.
He was also
Star
the,
Trek,
producer
Strange
and-
New Worlds.
He was also the producer
Go ahead.
and writer of 2 shitty Transformers movies and 1 shitty Transformers series.
Yeah,
Well,
but
A Hannibal Lecter show that had no Hannibal Lecter that failed.
Hawaii
Uh,
5-0, which was
that
terrible.
failed. A show about MacGyver that failed in one season. He's never, ever, ever launched an original property of any kind. He's a coattail riding sack of shit.
Well, but
Yeah.
let's
You heard it here
also
first.
yeah. But let's all well, no, we've all been saying it, but you spelled it out a lot better than most of us. But the point is,
Sorry,
is that
guys.
Yeah.
I specialize in hating the people from
Yeah.
Secret Hideout.
No, it's
But-
fine, man.
yeah. But
We-
bear in mind this. So Tom Hardy's Venom does take place in the Andrew Garfield universe, but he left a piece of himself behind in the MCU,
Yes.
and that's where we're getting the
We
Tom
could-
Holland shit from.
We can ignore that, though. We can ignore that because you know what? Disney hived a piece of Venom off to give themselves a story in, but they still got to go pay Sony. And
Oh yeah,
Sony
no,
has
that's,
shown that
that's fair.
Sony has shown themselves to be very protective, and they didn't like, in my opinion, what was going on with some of these Disney things with their MCU Spider-Man, and they weren't liking the direction he was going. And the only time we really saw them doing things was, let's think of some of the things that they did and didn't do. We were told that the villain from Spider-Man would be introduced in the final episode of Loki season 1. And the Sony people either lied to Disney or Disney lied to us, but the Sony people were like, fuck you, no, we're not putting your shit villain in our fucking
Actually-
movie. We've got Willem Dafoe. Go fuck yourselves.
So, talking about
but wait,
Loki,
the second half here would be just
yeah,
look at the treatment that Doctor Strange, who's purely Disney, look what they do to him. They beat on him and make him into an infantile child, and the movie is only good when he's gone. And then when he shows back up, like Scooby-Doo it to the end, he's an asshole. And I think that Sony's like, fuck you, we have the single most valuable superhero. You can hive off a piece in your movie, but guess what? We're not going to. So you still got to pay us, and we're not going to do it. So I think that if they're wise, they'll say no to an MCU Disney.
But
MCU
but see the thing is though is that they're trying to show all this. The only reason why we're getting Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in Deadpool is because they are trying to counteract exactly what you're saying now. They're trying to show Sony, well, if you won't let us use Spider-Man, we'll just we'll just bring Wolverine back, and that they can only do that so long. Like he ain't doing no more after this.
but they're also bringing. Hold on,
I'm not holding out a lot of hope for Deadpool.
but they're also bringing in the mutants into the MCU, which is a lot of bullshit. Because now you have like Where and all these
Oh
people.
god, WandaVision already.
Will Chris Evans be in the Fantastic Four?
Well,
I want to see Jessica Alba. I want to see Jessica Alba and Chris Evans, Ian Gruford, and Michael Chiklis as the Fantastic Four show up and explain themselves to Captain America. I want to fucking see that shit.
Jessica Alba does not age. She ages like fine wine.
So talking about
reality, but still.
Talking about
We got a
Doctor
multiverse
Strange.
here. Let's have those two. Let's have those two teams meet up with Captain America as Chris Evans, looking at like Johnny, looking at the torch. Like what?
Only if we can watch Fan Four Stick die.
What?
Only if we can literally see Fan Four
Like
Stick
Han
die,
Solo.
like die.
Guys, we never got Han Solo versus Indiana Jones. Maybe we could get this.
So
I would
guys,
be more than happy to never see Chris Evans act ever again.
yeah, but guys, here's
He's an
here's the
okay
thing.
Captain America. I wouldn't want him to be the guy living across the hall from me, though.
Right,
Seems like a fucking
but
fuckwit.
Doctor Strange. I watched Doctor Strange because I was incredibly in pain, and
One
I
or
needed
two?
to hate to hate myself even,
Oh
even
yeah,
more.
oh yeah. You got Steam problems. I watched
Yeah.
Wakanda, so I know how you feel.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
oh,
no,
God,
Fire.
yes.
I'm not going into it, but Fire understands when I gained that level of pain, I
Yeah.
need a distraction. So I will throw
You
it
ever
on.
think
and
about
when
heroin?
completely illegal in my country.
Yeah, mine too. I'm just saying, compared to the
Oh,
MCU,
no.
it might not be as harmful.
Oh,
No, I was thinking about anal from a sperm whale. But
God.
We don't
What?
give medical advice. It was just a joke. People don't do heroin or the MCU. Not even once. Not even once.
but one of the things that really fucking shows how much it was WandaVision season 2 was they literally had Doctor Strange, you know, the man who can do magic, in handcuffs that turn off his powers, right? And he's standing there while Wanda goes up against the entire Illuminati, right?
They could have saved that story with Morpheus.
Yep. But they fucking she killed each and every one of them. Right?
You're saying that
Oh.
that's just because you
And
don't know what she sacrificed.
Except for
They
technically,
also and the whole problem with Mephisto. Again, Multiverse of Madness could have been the perfect place where you brought Mephisto in. Same thing with WandaVision, but no.
He could have been in WandaVision as well.
Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah.
that's the problem. Mordo, that version of Mordo is the only one that fucking survived that whole ordeal, and that's I don't know what their fucking goal with that was, but that's the biggest problem though, is that there didn't seem to be a point to that movie. That movie though proves the same thing that No Way Home does, the same thing that bringing Wolverine back with Deadpool and all that does. They have been trying to operate. They've been trying to force us to believe that they are the best, the only continuity, and now the only thing that's saving them, that's actually putting any butts in seats, and it's barely doing it, is by bringing back the old continuities and shoehorning them somehow into the MCU.
But for
And
a while, they were the best. Well, like phase 1 through 4, they were the best for a while. Well, except for Captain Marvel. For sure.
One through 3, not yeah.
I would say 1
Yeah.
through 3. 4 was kind of a trash fire.
Or sorry, I meant like still on game. I forget what space that's in. Sorry.
That's all right.
So, like, Doctor Strange, like, okay, Wanda spends the entirety of the movie running around and crying and cribbing and bitching on about two kids that somehow
They aren't
existed.
even her. She kidnapped them.
They're not like she doesn't have any kids. That's the worst part of the whole thing.
But that's the dumbest thing. The kids aren't even fucking real in the other
That would be
universes.
like if I got superpowers and went on an extra dimensional fucking rampage because my wife and I don't have any kids.
Yeah.
It
But
doesn't
for-
make her a hero, you fucking lunatics.
But not only
My
that,
parents
the kids,
just took a bunch of money and went to an Indian reservation. Jeez, it's not that hard, Wanda.
Oh my God.
yeah, but the thing is, the
It's
fucking
true.
kids,
What can I say? It's what we did.
the kids
Again,
that she went and got, right? The kids that she went and kidnapped are fucking made up. They're they're concepts at best.
Well, from my understanding, it was actually like hers from a different universe.
Nope.
Nope. Or am I wrong about that?
No, like I think
Because
she actually she's trying to kill the Wanda that is their mom as well, right? There's some other
Yeah,
stuff
but-
going on set.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to. That in the Wanda, the
Wanda
Doctor
yes.
Strange film.
But if you
Those
remember
kids were actually
how
real.
they were created,
It's like the boys
they-
from Brazil.
If you remember how they were created in the first place, their father is Vision, who's a
Oh no! We were talking about that. We were talking about that.
Their
actual
father's
kid
a
in the movie,
vibrator, isn't
not
he?
the
Yeah.
one from Wanda. Not the
But
shit
in
from
the one
WandaVision.
official, yeah, we were giving you credit
But they're
for it.
still
Like
the
the
same.
Doctor Strange ones, they were
Well,
real.
no, it's worse because the kids in fucking the multiverse of bullshit. Those were actual kids she fucking kidnapped from another
Yeah.
fucking dimension.
Yes, but who's
Right.
their father? What he's trying to say is that even that Wanda created those kids, magically.
No, that was
Well,
never confirmed because they never show the dad. There's no.
Well, that's
That is
that's the
true.
point, though. That's the point. We have to assume that their dad is probably supposed to be Vision in some weird ass way too.
But
assume
why
is-
makes us
no,
Hold on,
he's
hold on,
a
hold on, hold
goddamn
on.
robot.
Guys, easy.
One sec. Favre, you go.
I was gonna say what I assume is honestly just given by the quality of the rest of the fucking script is that they just didn't bother to think about that. There's
Yeah.
no situation of Vision or nothing else. There's just the kids because
Uh,
every
uh,
plot point in that fucking thing was so disjointed. None of it made any fucking sense.
Because that's the
Like
thing.
they-
What the Vision? Sorry, Revan. Vision's
Yeah.
personality is literally based off Simon Williams, the Wonder Man. So what in the hell? I mean, why haven't we seen him? Why haven't they done anything with that? Because they don't want any more, straight white guys in the MCU. And that's why we're where we're at. They've got a bunch of activists posing as writers, and now that's bitten them in the ass because now they're out trying to protest. And if you're protesting, you got to make sure that they actually need what you're putting out. And nobody wants what they're putting out.
I just want to go on record first and say that not all the messages they put out there are bad. Paul Bettany, 53 years old, Elizabeth Olsen, about 25. I favored that sort of portrayal in movies.
That's fair. That's fair.
But
I am
now,
also
you're
working on a script for gender swapped Brokeback Mountain.
Oh God!
What's it called?
Yeah.
What's it called?
There's already a film about that. It's called Thelma and Louise.
But anyway, so one of the things that really shows their politics in Multiverse of Madness is the line.
And it's
You have
called
to pay-
Backbush Canyon.
It's the line it's the line. You have to pay for food. That's strange. In most universes, you don't pay for food. Food is just given to you. Well, you pay for houses as well.
What the heck?
Yeah.
That is Communist Manifesto level bullshit. That's all that is.
Yeah.
What they're trying to insinuate is that all the other dimensions in the MCU's fucking universes are all communists. The utopian communist ideal, which has never in fucking history worked. That's all I'm gonna fucking say about it.
Well, I was going to say that's the whole point of America Chavez. America Chavez has two. She lives in a quote perfect communism utopia, and she's got two biological mothers. That is literally the basis of her character.
But the thing is, the dumbest thing, she used
their largest city. Listen to the rock and roll.
She used her powers when she was 8 years old and cannot find her way home. That is like, then in the fight with Wanda, she learns to use her powers and then goes to work with Doctor Strange. I'm sorry. Would you not go, hey, I now know how to use my powers. Sorry, lads, I'm going to go home.
Well, they even decided.
There's a problem here, by the way. Wait, I'm very sorry.
Go ahead.
Just very quickly. They call her Scarlet Witch, but let's remember she's supposed to be a mutant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Wanda Maximoff. I know it's
not anymore. She's not.
Remember, they gave him that backstory.
Show me on screen.
Yeah, but on screen they decided that her and Quicksilver were created by Hydra, like they were turned into superhumans through Hydra in the MCU.
Go to Loki, get another one of the Infinity Stones out of the drawer, bring Vision back to life, and have your goddamn vibrator back, you crazy homicidal bitch.
Okay, there's one thing, and this is going to make Fire face plant, because we all need to kill Fire. The thing is, she complained that her showing off her cleavage was over-sexualized. Okay?
Oh, God.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. I want to see a pretty girl and scantily clad. There's beauty and truth and truth and beauty.
And yet they're going to have guys showing off their
There's a reason Amy Schumer wasn't Barbie.
Hold up, guys. He's not even done yet. Let him finish.
I'm not done. So the first outfit was her in the really light dress that kept flowing everywhere. Outfit number 2 was her showing off her cleavage, and she's like, that is over-sexualized. Bitch done a fucking movie with the actor who played Thanos where she was butt-ass naked for half that movie. I'm sorry. How is what you were wearing
Let's
in the MCU?
talk about Mystique, right?
Yes.
How is where you were wearing in the MCU over sexualized when the following movie you make is you showing off your fucking tits and ass?
Because she wanted to fucking virtue signal. Because
Yeah.
Disney, Marvel, and most of
Listen,
their casting crew are obsessed with this shit.
I wish they would show off the goods more. Has anyone seen how they ugly up the cast on Strange New Worlds? They make those
Yes.
people ugly.
Yes.
Why the heck did they bring this damn those lower decks? Those
Hold on.
That show is more popular. That show's more popular than Strange New Worlds. They needed the crossover. They needed their fans.
But
I bet you it's their highest rated episode. It's going to be their highest rated. If not the musical, because it was such a trash fire. The musical was an absolute trash fire.
So, like this current MCU, like the last one I genuinely loved was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. That was genuinely the last.
I didn't watch it. I didn't care.
It sounds
That was really
defensible,
great.
but I've heard it was a little bit hard to take the animal stuff. But I mean, that's not an insane thing to say. For me, the last Marvel thing I saw that I really enjoyed was that last Spider-Man movie was real good.
Yeah.
Not the Miles, the last one, the last live action one. I'm agnostic on the other ones. I have to see them, and I'm not going to get into that controversy. But, you know, to me, Peter Parker is the original Spider-Man, and I did enjoy the coming together of the three Peter Parkers, but they haven't moved me or thrilled me or made me want to go buy a ticket since then.
My big issue is just I never liked Miles Morales Spider-Man in the comics. What the fuck would possess me to go see the movies with him?
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2099 would be cooler. Give us a Blade Runner world.
Right.
But what? So I'm going to go in and say something because I've played Spider-Man. I'm a big Spider-Man fan, right? Is they did not call Miles Morales Spider-Man the Spider-Man. He says, I am a Spider-Man. He is his world's Spider-Man. He is not replacing, even in the games where he is with Peter Parker, he goes, I am the other Spider-Man.
You know, I meet my pot guy right where Tobey Maguire tries to catch the bus, and he gets his hand caught on the paper on the side, and you see the 7 train. That's where I meet my pot guy.
Yeah.
Hey, he stole that guy's pizza.
We have 4 minutes left, so we'll do the shilling and we'll wrap up here. Okay. So, Admiral Teague, as our guest, you'll go first, and then we'll go Favre and go around that way. Okay?
That works.
So,
Teague, my gosh! Well, thank you so much. My name is Admiral Teague. I'm on Friday afternoons at 4 p.m. U.S. Eastern Standard Time with my show Saving Star Trek. We review the new Trek, and we also do takedowns of the old Star Trek. We celebrate the old Star Trek, and we review the new Star Trek. If it's not any good, we let you know. We have been nothing but shocked at how bad the new Trek Star Trek has been. It's been a parade of incompetence, but we try to have fun doing it. We have a good crew. We're on Thursdays for a live watch, Fridays at 4 p.m., and Sundays at 8 p.m., all times Eastern U.S., -4 GMT, I believe.
Nice. And no, -5.
Well, we have daylight savings time right now, so it is currently 11:13 p.m. where I am.
It is currently 4:13 a.m. where I'm at.
So what does that make my GMT now? It's -5? All right, so we're -5 in America right now.
It's 10:13 here right now.
So thank you very much, Admiral. And you're always welcome back. Favre?
Well, it was really nice to meet you, Potato, and it was interesting. Interesting, if not wide-ranging discussion. We covered like just a tiny smidge of this huge universe that covers so many years, and 2 different, really 3 different companies with Sony, Paramount, and Disney.
Oh, you should have been here for the last one. I lost my fucking mind.
Oh yeah, we were talking about the comics, but Favre, you want to push yourself?
That was me watching the musical episode of Strange New Worlds.
I saw
broken fucking man.
I saw clips.
Watch the Klingon rap battle. Google it.
I saw it. Oh, it was awful. But yeah, I got a channel called my brother and I run called Favithian Guard. It's a little gaming channel. We occasionally do discussions, but not very often lately. So we're on there. We got stuff. We do streams usually on Mondays and Thursdays. and then we upload stuff pretty much almost every day unless something happens and one of us gets real sick. I also wrote this. This is my fantasy, the first fantasy novel in my series called The Farvithia Chronicle. It is on Amazon. It's in ebook and hardcover. I'm about 3/4 of the way done with the sequel before editing, before I get that one sent to the editing room. Gotta move that way.
Brilliant. Hold on. I'm just getting your thingy-majiggy.
That's fine.
Here we go. Here is Far's channel. And paste. There we go. Far's link is now in the chat.
Grazie.
Last time I saw someone named Favre, it was Brett Favre, and he threw 5 fucking interceptions. Put on that New York Jet uniform, you become powerless.
Oh, and if you
Aaron Rodgers is next.
And if you want to check out my
He's
book,
gonna be horrible.
There's a link on my front page banner to it from my page.
Bubba.
Yep, I am Geek Hero Bubba. You can find me on Twitter talking about all the same stuff we've been talking about. You know, getting people that think they know a damn thing to yell at me and yelling at them right back. It's always fun. You know, just a couple, quick points to hit. Loki literally undid 11 years of continuity. The moment they decided that the divine timeline was set, no matter what, it took away all it's worse than the timeless child in Doctor Who. Like, all the risk was gone. Everything just became completely null and void. Yep. So anyway, on that happy note,
we weren't supposed to talk about the timeless child.
Well, okay, and then my apologies, but anyway, then the last thing I watched with the MCU was Werewolf by Night. I said this last week, but I'm gonna say it one more time. The shit they do right makes the shit they do wrong that much worse, and Werewolf by Night was living proof that they could, at any given fucking moment, they could give us what we want. They could give real, true fans, the hardcore fans that helped get them where they're fucking at right now. Not where they're at right now, but where they got, to the point where they made all the money that they made. They could give us what we want at any given time, but they hate us so much that they will not. They refuse. They will crank out 30 She-Hulks before they fucking give us another Werewolf by Night.
Somebody else put it best. They write for themselves.
Oh yeah. Like, they do a lot of self-inserts. JetSpark.
Yes, you can find me at JetSpark373.
Don't worry, John, I'm getting your link for you.
All right, yeah, I'm on Twitter, Instagram, of course, YouTube, and I also have a Twitch channel. I recently went back and did a Twitch stream. I was just playing GTA, and I was just like trying to level up an alt character.
Nice.
So that's about it. But mostly I'm mostly on hiatus because I got some personal things I'm trying to work out myself. So, and I said anyone who checks out my both my Twitch or my YouTube, especially YouTube, go and look through the back and just watch the back catalog of all my content, all my live streams. I've done a series of open mics called Talking Pinheads, where we're just general discussions and hangouts. I've done Let's Plays. My most recent one is the entire Legendary Edition of the Mass Effect trilogy, so go check all that stuff out. And I've even done a few montages and a few gaming clips.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Where the hell did it... Wow, fucking Christ. Okay.
Fuck me, I just noticed, looking at the camera, I got like a fucking stripe over here.
Dude.
Watch out. He's going to try to rock the Mr. Fantastic look.
It's just doing it. Fucking pissing me off. It's like one spot stripe.
It's called Rogaine.
I ain't going bald, motherfucker.
You're just getting old. FPS, you want to show yourself, man?
Yeah, sure. I'm Raised by FPS.
So enthusiastic.
You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and now YouTube. I'm also on TikTok. I'm just kind of out here trying to spread nothing but peace, love, and positivity.
Yes. Also, he's a great guy. Go check him out. He welcomes people into his Discord. Phil!
Sup?
Sup, bitch?
Sup, beautiful?
You want to sell your crap?
Wait, what?
Push your fucking shit!
Oh, so you guys can find me on YouTube as PhilTMNT. You guys can expect a Mutant Mayhem review on my channel tomorrow. You guys can also find me on TikTok as The Scattered Knight, and on Twitter as PhilTMNT22.
Thanking you very much. Wait, did I not tag you then? Jesus Christ, I'm an idiot.
Poor potatoes up here like, Phil, I find your lack of shill disturbing.
And I give this stream as 9.5 out of 10 potatoes of revenue.
Now he's 1.2 out of 3 potatoes.
I give it 9.6 out of 10 potatoes.
Mashed for your convenience.
So I'm going to just link your Twitter, which has all your stuff on it, Phil, if that's okay. Yes,
Oh, yeah.
It's my
Thank you,
channel. I
thank
can
you.
do whatever the hell I want. So there's Phil's Twitter. There you go. But no, that is fucking...
That's me.
You see, if I was smart, I'd be dangerous.
You just misclicked. Oh.
There we
Oh,
go.
don't worry. To my haters, I'm a dumbass and I'm so
Okay,
confused.
so the poll results.
Yeah, he asked for the poll results.
Okay, the poll results are... did you like the MCU once? Yes, 87%. No, 7%. And for another 7%, Bubba, your parents are the Hulk and Thor?
Jesus Christ.
What?
No, that's not what you said. You read it right. You read what you put.
Is Bubba Thor and Hulk's love child?
I believe it.
I've
I
seen
can
it.
believe it.
Yes.
Sounds
What?
accurate.
He's electric green. So guys, I'm going to wrap this up and I'm going to say good night. God bless everyone. Have a fantastic night. And remember, if you watch Strange New World, please take meth beforehand. It helps.
Don't take that.
And Hawk smash the
yeah,
subscribe
no.
button to Potato Rapping.
As a professional Star Trek reviewer, so to speak, I would
I'm gonna
say
take my big.
go to your replicator and get synthameth. It's much like regular meth, but the effects are easily dismissed.
No. Go get
I'm
ultra meth.
Michael
It's
T.
like regular meth, but worse.
Replicator, please give me some synthetic heroin right now. I have to watch WandaVision.
Oh.
Okay, peace out, everyone.